This is the Digital Dynamic on 100.7 FM WFLA. Good morning, Preston.
Never realized how much I rely on my eyeballs here to do the segment. It's the Digital Dynamic with me, Dustin Rivest of App Innovators, and the website appinnovators.com. And Dustin, you brought in a toy here.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm looking in virtual reality at a beach. What beach am I at?
Laguna Beach, California.
Laguna Beach, California, huh? Good grief. Okay, just...
Don't you feel like you're there?
It's pretty freaky. I got to admit that. It's crazy. I would imagine that when you hook this in with some sound,
yeah,
it's insane.
Yep.
And so now, how pervasive is this technology that I'm looking at here? And to be clear, what you've got is you've got the Google, you've got the glasses here, the goggles with your phone.
Yep.
Right. And this is made to interact with these goggles and create your image. That is sort of full immersive here, right?
Yeah, they're using 360-degree cameras.
Okay, I'm officially dizzy.
First time, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little disorienting.
Now think about the future of being able to sit in a classroom or be able to do virtual school from home. Imagine being at the World Cup or at the...
See, now I can get that. The school thing, we were just talking about the fact that every indicator is that the more technology is integrated by the student, the less they're able to learn. Now we've got a study at West Point that says handwriting notes just blows away writing notes on a notepad. There's something that happens when you write things down by hand that doesn't happen when you enter data by hand on a keyboard.
I can see that. Entering data on a keyboard is getting boring because now everybody's entering their posts and all their other things on their phone. But when you talk about virtual reality and being able to put the topic or the subject of the topic in front of that person,
right?
I mean, imagine vet school. Imagine being able to learn in chemistry about the molecules and they pop up right in front of your face and you can actually see how the molecules look and feel. Or having, a virtual surgery if you're a med student, being able to actually see it right there. Or even football players. Let's talk about FSU using it. I'm sure FSU's using it by now. Imagine being able to, when you're at home, instead of watching film on a flat screen TV, you can actually see the rushes coming in from different areas.
Well, yeah.
No pros are using it.
I would imagine that learning a playbook and seeing different coverages and identifying things, that there are a lot of applications for this stuff. Now, creating the software to do it, that's a whole nother world now, isn't it?
That's a whole nother world. But it's getting better. It's getting a little more practical. So we're excited to see what's going to bring in the future.
Whew. Man, like I said, I'm still a little disoriented from putting those things on right there. I was looking around for that pelican that was casting a shadow over me.
It's never good when a pelican flies over you.
No kidding. I've been teasing a little bit about drones. Yeah. And drones, not just things that fly in the air, but things that go on the ground and things that go in the water. But primarily, what's drawing a lot of attention is the stuff that's flying up in the air.
Yeah, a drone is just really any unmanned aerial vehicle. So, I mean, you talk about, submarines that are looking at shipwrecks down below that are unmanned. We're using a lot of drones in wars. Actually, I hope we use more of them, so we're putting less lives there on the ground. So, yeah, drones can be a number of things, but you always hear about the commercial, stuff for all of us being able to use them. The quadcopters, as he would call it back there.
Yeah, and those things are, I mean, every guy listening right now loves the notion of flying those things. They're just cool.
They're pretty cool. They're a little scary at first because you don't want to. I mean, they can be pretty expensive.
Yes, they can.
It's not a cheap toy by any stretch of the imagination.
Though you can buy them cheaply, those are the kind that are just going to have limits on what they can do.
And those are normally the ones that are even harder to fly.
Really?
I think so. I mean,
because they don't have the same, basic controllers, the same computerized.
You don't have a lot of the data, for example. So the one that I have, it's a Phantom DJI 3, and you can actually hook it up to your iPhone or your iPad, and you can see how high it is, how fast it's going, what the wind speed is.
So it's giving you a feed?
It's giving you a live feed if it has a camera on it. The ones that don't have the camera and don't have those live feeds, it's like flying a toy helicopter.
Right.
And you don't know what it's doing, or if it's doing something crazy, you can't really inspect what's going on. But when you can see all that data on your phone, it's a little bit easier.
What are the laws on this stuff right now?
Well, the laws are kind of tricky. I heard you talking about earlier somebody possibly. Do you shoot it in your backyard?
Well, I mean, obviously you can't in a residential area, but I mean, that's a question that people are dealing with.
And I think that's uncharted territories, and I think that'll become more and more defined as we go along. But there's a lot of commercial restrictions as well that people really need to be aware of.
We'll pick up there next time we visit. I want to talk about this drones a little bit. Yep. I'm going to have a discussion next half hour about what would you do if you had one in your backyard and you knew it was taking pictures. I mean, what do you do with that? I mean, there's a story in the news about that right now, about someone was snooping some apartments with those things, seeing who was home, seeing who was not. But, man, thanks for the virtual reality, dude.
Yeah, man.
Good to see you.
Good seeing you as well.
App Innovators, Dustin Rivest with us this morning. Go to the website, appinnovators.com. And again, we'll pick up the topic on drones when we next visit.